China's newest transport aircraft is no longer just a mysterious shape in distant photographs. Clearer images now reveal a 4-engine turboprop that could reshape how China moves people, vehicles, and supplies. In this video, we will examine what the Y-15's design reveals, why China may need it, and which crucial questions remain unanswered during flight testing right now worldwide. For years, China's next medium transport aircraft remained hidden behind a model, scattered reports, and distant photographs. That situation has now changed. New images provide the clearest view yet of a flying prototype that many observers currently call the Y-15. However, even its name requires caution. The aircraft first became widely known as the Y-30 after a model appeared at the 2014 Zhuhai Air Show. When images of a real prototype emerged in December 2025, the marking 15001 could be seen on its fuselage. Analysts interpreted that number as evidence that the aircraft might actually carry the Y-15 designation. China has not publicly confirmed that name. Therefore, Y-15 remains the most widely used open-source designation, not a settled official fact. What can be assessed more confidently is the aircraft's physical configuration. The prototype has 4 turboprop engines, each turning a 6-blade propeller. Its wings sit high above the fuselage, leaving more space beneath them and helping protect the engines during operations from less developed airfields. The relatively straight wing should also support stable handling at lower speeds. Large winglets rise from both tips. These may improve aerodynamic efficiency by reducing the drag created near the ends of the wings. They also make the aircraft visually distinct from both the older Y-9 and the much larger Airbus A400M. The Y-15 has a broad fuselage, a T-shaped tail, a rear loading ramp, and strong multi-wheel landing gear. Together, these features suggest an aircraft designed around practical cargo operations. Vehicles and large equipment could enter through the rear, while the landing gear may help distribute the aircraft's weight across rougher surfaces. One highly visible feature has also caused confusion. A long device extends from the prototype's nose, leading some observers to call it a refueling probe. It is actually an air data boom used during flight testing. The boom allows engineers to measure airflow, pressure, temperature, and other conditions with high accuracy. This information helps them evaluate the aircraft's handling and refine its flight control systems. The Y-15 becomes more significant when we examine the aircraft already supporting China's transport network. China continues to operate several versions of the Y-8, a design whose origins are closely connected to the Soviet An-12. Although China developed many specialized Y-8 variants, the original airframe belongs to a much earlier period of aviation. The Y-9 introduced updated systems and became China's modern medium turboprop transport. It has supported personnel movements, cargo delivery, training, emergency assistance, and long-distance operations. China also transformed the Y-9 platform into several specialized aircraft. Yet the Y-9 still carries the basic proportions and limitations of the older design family. Its cargo hold may restrict the transportation of wide vehicles or unusually bulky equipment. Available engine power can also influence takeoff performance, especially from short runways or airfields at higher elevations. At the opposite end of the fleet is the Y-20. This large jet-powered aircraft gives China substantial long-range transport capacity. It can move heavier loads across much greater distances, but not every assignment requires an aircraft of that size. Large jets also need suitable infrastructure. A remote facility may have a short runway, limited ground equipment, or surfaces that make regular Y-20 operations less practical. This is the gap the Y-15 may be designed to fill. Its turboprop engines should provide useful efficiency at the speeds and altitudes associated with regional transport. Its high-lift wing and strong landing gear appear intended to support operations from a wider range of runways. Meanwhile, its broader cargo compartment could accommodate loads that are difficult to fit inside a Y-9. Reports have suggested a payload near 30 metric tons. That figure remains unconfirmed, and should not be treated as an established specification. For perspective, the C-130J Super Hercules has an officially listed maximum payload of about 21 metric tons. The larger A400M can carry up to 37 metric tons. The Y-15 may sit somewhere between those aircraft in carrying capacity, although its overall category appears closer to the C-130J. Its resemblance to the A400M can easily create the wrong impression. Both aircraft use 4 turboprops, a high wing, a T-tail, and a rear ramp. However, the A400M belongs to a heavier performance class. If the Y-15 enters production, its greatest advantage may be flexibility rather than any single performance number. A medium airlifter must operate wherever supplies are needed, including places with limited aviation infrastructure. China has remote facilities, elevated regions, island airfields, and widely separated transport routes. An aircraft that can carry bulky cargo while using shorter or less developed runways could connect these locations more efficiently. Its rear ramp would allow vehicles, pallets, generators, medical equipment, and engineering machinery to be loaded directly. It could also speed up unloading when an airport lacks advanced cargo handling equipment. These features would support more than routine logistical work. During earthquakes, floods, severe storms, or other emergencies, the aircraft could carry rescue teams, temporary shelters, food, water, and medical supplies. It might also support evacuation and medical transport missions. The aircraft could eventually become the foundation for an entire family. China has repeatedly adapted the Y-8 and Y-9 into specialized platforms. Different versions have supported airborne monitoring, communications, maritime observation, electronic data collection, and other technical missions. A wider and more powerful Y-15 could offer additional internal space for equipment, workstations, cooling systems, and electrical generation. No specialized Y-15 version has been officially announced. Still, the history of China's earlier transport families makes future variants a reasonable possibility. Aerial refueling is another unanswered question. The test aircraft does not currently have a visible refueling probe. China could add one to a later prototype, or it could decide that the aircraft's expected range makes the feature unnecessary. Only future testing will provide an answer. Exports could present another opportunity. Many countries need modern medium transports, but have limited options. A Y-15 export model could attract interest if China offers competitive pricing, flexible delivery terms, dependable maintenance, and access without the restrictions attached to some Western aircraft. Success would not be guaranteed. Buyers would want verified information about payload, range, runway requirements, operating cost, reliability, and spare parts support. China would also need to demonstrate that the aircraft can perform consistently in different climates. Before discussing exports, however, China must complete flight testing and move toward production. Only one prototype has been clearly identified so far. New photographs suggest that testing is becoming more active, but they do not reveal how close the program is to approval. Several major questions therefore remain. Is Y-15 truly the aircraft's official name? Which engine powers it? Can it actually carry 30 metric tons? How far can it travel with a useful load? Will it replace the Y-9 completely or serve alongside it? China's Y-15 appears to be much more than an updated version of an older transport. Its wide fuselage, modern wing, rear ramp, turboprop engines, and heavy-duty landing gear point toward a flexible aircraft built for demanding airfields and bulky cargo. It could eventually bridge the space between the Y-9 and the much larger Y-20. Yet caution remains essential. China has not officially confirmed its designation, payload, engine output, range, or production schedule. The prototype is real and testing appears active, but its ultimate capability is still emerging. Future flights will show whether the Y-15 becomes China's next transport workhorse. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on space exploration and scientific discoveries, and don't forget to leave a comment below. Also, you can visit our website, spaceinews.com. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.